Tonight on KGW News, a plan to forgive some college debt goes up in smoke.
That sucks.
Reaction from local students tonight as the president tries a new tactic.
Today's decision has closed one path. Now we're going to pursue another.
Plus, snubbed by the state.
We didn't receive any really significant funding.
Why it's the small players when it comes to arts and culture that could be hit hardest. But first, a senseless attack on a group of Portland cyclists.
Know that the residents in the building here, some of them are a little scared to go out at night.
Why the suspect accused of hitting them with a pipe now faces hate crime charges. And we begin with that attack in Northwest Portland. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm David Molko. It was not the official naked bike ride, though the victims in this case, the authorities say, were riding without clothes. Catherine Cook is here. Catherine, police say they are investigating this as a bias crime. What else do we know?
Yeah, David, they say involved a metal pipe and homophobic language. This was a small group ride with 9 people. Court documents describe the moments it turned violent and the arrest that eventually landed the suspect behind bars.
Northwest 19th and Flanders, a popular thoroughfare for people on bikes and the scene of an alleged hate crime. According to a probable cause affidavit, the assault happened here June 3rd. A group of naked bike riders were on a ride when police say 39-year-old Robert Hutchins confronted them. According to police, Hutchins picked up a 3-foot metal pipe and hit 2 of the men while yelling, "Get out of here," along with a homophobic slur. Court documents note one of the victims is gay. A witness told police Hutchins swung the pipe like a bat, hitting the victims across the back. It's not clear how badly they were hurt.
If a person is gay, there's no reason to beat somebody with a pipe.
Shane Captor lives on this block. He says Hutchins, who has no listed address, is the latest person to be accused of violent crimes in this neighborhood, including assaults and car fires.
The residents in the building here, some of them are a little scared to go out at night. They're nervous, because of the fentanyl use and all the homeless people around.
Court documents show police arrested Hutchins not far from the crime scene and say he still had the pipe with him. Hutchins faces multiple charges, including second-degree assault and first-degree bias crime. For many, like Caleb Montserrat, the news is a relief, but also frustrating to hear that people still act on hatred.
Myself have trans brothers and sisters, so it's like, yeah, that just kind of hits home a little bit.
All the more reason to keep his eyes open.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely looking out for other people, too.
In Northwest Portland, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
There was something not right. Like, it's generally the sign of an overdose, and especially from what I know personally.
A woman walking to work in the Rose City helped stop one man from becoming another overdose statistic. On Monday, Annette Johnson there noticed a man hunched over on Southwest 5th and Alder. He was unresponsive. Johnson said she herself had struggled with addiction, so she knew the signs of somebody in crisis. She also knows the pain, she says, of losing somebody to drugs.
I lost the love of my life 4 years ago to a heroin overdose that was cut with fentanyl.
Heartbreaking there. Portland police say 155 people lost their lives to drugs last year. At the halfway mark of 2023, 137 people, nearly that, have already died from overdoses. To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, 2 Clackamas County deputies shot while responding to a burglary are expected to be okay. Deputies responded early this morning to a Milwaukee business near Southeast 70th Avenue and Johnson Creek Boulevard. Investigators say there was a confrontation. That's when one of the suspects pulled out a gun and fired at the deputies, hitting one in the arm and the other in the vest and abdomen. A neighbor told us 2 bullets also came flying through her front window right into her living room where her child was playing.
I'm shaken up. I mean, it literally could have hit my child. I mean, 3 feet is a lot of space, but not when it comes to your kid getting hit with a bullet.
We are so glad that did not happen. 2 suspects are in custody. Both deputies have now been released from the hospital. In Salem, police have arrested a 17-year-old for allegedly attacking a 64-year-old man. Authorities say witnesses spotted a teenager punching and kicking the victim Thursday afternoon. This was near the Sunnyside townhomes. The victim was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Police arrested the teenager, who is now charged with second-degree assault. And it is official, Oregon has a new Secretary of State. Today, LaVon Griffin-Valade was sworn in. Governor Tina Kotek said she picked Griffin-Valade, who has years of experience as an auditor, in part to restore trust in government. Now, here's what the secretary said when she was asked if she might run for the job in 2024 when her term wraps up.
And do you plan on running for this office?
No,
Because
I haven't given it another thought, or a thought.
There you go. Now, Griffin-Valade replaces Shamia Fagan, who resigned after she admitted to moonlighting as a consultant for a cannabis company. You know what, speaking of state government, while the session is over after the longest walkout in state history, despite the last-minute bipartisan push by lawmakers, it appears the efforts left some folks feeling a little bit snubbed. Alma McCarty's in the newsroom. Alma, we are talking about arts and culture. What happened?
Well, David, the Cultural Advocacy Coalition of Oregon, the group that lobbies on behalf of arts and culture, expressed their deep disappointment in being passed over this legislative session. They asked for millions to support ongoing pandemic recovery and capital projects, but only got a small fraction. J.S. May, board president and the executive director of the Artist Repertory Theater, explains that frustration.
Arts and culture is a critical sector to Oregon. We're a $9.2 billion industry. We're bigger than transportation, utilities, or agriculture. And yet we didn't receive any really significant funding.
May says lawmakers only funded 2 improvement construction projects in Portland, overlooking smaller theaters, museums, and rural community projects in other parts of the state.
So whether you're going to the Pendleton Roundup, to the High Desert Museum, to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, or the Brit Festival, all of those are things that attract tourism. And if you look at Southern Oregon alone, a third of the visitors to Ashland come there because of the Shakespeare Festival. So when you've got an organization like that on the brink, you've got a huge economic driver in Southern Oregon that's at risk, and that's true across the state.
The coalition says they won't take no for an answer and will be back representing nonprofit arts and culture in the next session in February 2024. David?
Alma McCarty in the newsroom tonight. Thank you, Alma. All right, the holiday weekend is here. The heat is inbound. So, meteorologist Joe Ranieri, any chance of triple digits? I'm almost afraid to ask.
Not just one chance, 2 chances, maybe 3, but at least I think we have 2 chances heading into the 4th of July and Wednesday. Yeah, the heat is just right around the corner. Again, David, I am tracking what is expected to be our first heat wave of the summer. As we look at the forecast over the next couple of days, it's going to be really pleasant, I would say, for your temperatures for tomorrow into Sunday. I'm forecasting highs in the mid to the upper 80s. But as we head into Monday, I have it down at 88 degrees. I think it's easy for us to hit close to 90, and then the heat really kicks in for the 4th of July. Could be seeing record temperatures, 97 degrees, and heading into Wednesday could be just as warm. Now, no watches and warnings in the metro area just yet, but again, there is that fire danger throughout parts of the Columbia River Gorge along I-84. It's going to be breezy, it's going to be hot, and there's also a heat advisory in place throughout parts of southern Oregon as well. And coming up in my detailed forecast, I'll let you know when we can expect to see some cooler conditions after this heat wave that moves in next week.
Now, at least we have a little time to prepare. Thank you, Joe. See you in a bit. Well, today marks the final day of Pride Month, and the city of Vernonia celebrated with its first ever Pride event. It was a chance for people who are LGBTQ+ and their allies to get together this afternoon with food, drinks, and music at Spencer Park. Pride, of course, originated as a protest against police brutality, specifically in the late 60s in New York. Today, it's become a celebration of love, acceptance, and community. Once again, happy Pride, everybody. Meanwhile, the Waterfront Blues Festival returns tomorrow, and this year you might notice something else that's nearly as prominent as the stages and the music, the water tiger. Now, this was last year's Chinese zodiac sign, but has been retained as a symbol of the resilience of the Rose City out of the pandemic. Olivia Cheng, a high school student and artist, is involved in showcasing it with 3 unique murals.
I really hope that people can come so I can share with them my work and share with them kind of the spirit of Water Tiger, which is all about bringing Portland back stronger than ever.
Great spirit there. Cheng hopes her work inspires others to be more active in their communities. The Waterfront Blues Festival starts tomorrow and runs through July 4th.